Tonight, Eyre Peninsula farmers warned to be alert about their haystacks as the weather heats up. And a Whyalla school set for a major facility upgrade.
From our 7 Spencer Gulf studio, your nightly news with Letitia Wallace begins now.
Good evening, thanks for your company. First tonight, an alarming spike in haystack fires has prompted renewed calls to be extra vigilant this harvest season. The Country Fire Service says a late winter rainfall is seeing hay being baled wet, increasing the risk of combustion.
In the heart of Eyre Peninsula, heartbreaking scenes as a shed full of hay and farming equipment is engulfed in flames. This fire broke out on a farming property near Tumby Bay earlier this month. It's believed internal combustion within the hay sparked the blaze.
Haystack fires can occur anywhere from 2 weeks to 3 months after hay's been made.
This fire burnt for several days. The damage was estimated at $1.2 million.
There's a big loss, not just in the hay that gets lost, but also the infrastructure around them.
It seems like this the Country Fire Service warn are on the rise, with a late winter rainfall increasing the risk of hay being baled wet.
When it's compressed in the middle of a haystack, it'll build up and start to cause that chemical reaction.
When that happens, there's potential for serious damage. If hay gets to around 70 degrees, it can quickly spike to 180 degrees and spontaneously combust, sparking a full-scale emergency.
So if you can smell a musty smell, one would be suggesting that you're getting that chemical reaction happening.
Authorities say they'll be on high alert for the rest of the week as temperatures soar across the region. Port Lincoln is expecting 34-degree heat, while Woodner is bracing for a sizzling 45 degrees on Friday.
Stay informed and have a plan.
Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
South Australia has recorded 1 new case of COVID-19 today. The man in his 20s is a close contact of a returned traveller who tested positive this month and is in hotel quarantine. The state is now looking at easing restrictions even further to the same level they were before the pizza shop bungle. The government targeting December 1st as the date if everything goes to plan. But our Chief Medical Officer, Professor Nicholas Spurrier, says we're not out of the woods yet and has again urged residents to wear face masks in public areas. A man has escaped serious injury after he was allegedly chased and bitten by a dog while on a bike ride in Broken Hill. It sparked a warning from police to pet owners, urging them to ensure animals are kept secure. Our reporter Lachlan Ita has more.
It's here on Morgan Street where the man was allegedly attacked on Friday night. He was riding his bicycle when just before 7:45, police say the dog started chasing him down the street.
The dog did follow him, tried to bite him a couple of times and then eventually did actually bite him on the leg.
An ambulance was called to treat the man. Thankfully, he escaped with only minor injuries. A man picked up the dog and took it home after the attack. Police arrived and spoke to the owner a short time later.
She admitted that the dog was hers and that it wasn't actually secured in the yard properly. She's actually been issued with a $1,320 fine.
It's a timely reminder of the responsibilities that come with pet ownership.
They must register it with the council. It must also be microchipped, but it also must be contained wholly and solely within their yard.
In a statement, Broken Hill City Council says that owners are liable for their dog and can face criminal charges in more serious cases. Also warning that any dog which attacks a person or other animal can lead to it being declared as dangerous, which places heavy restrictions on the animal. The RSPCA is also reminding pet owners that dogs must be on a leash in public areas or under effective voice control if they're in an off-leash area.
A damning report has revealed South Australian court sheriff officers have suffered through years of workplace harassment and bullying. The member for Frome, Jeff Brock, has welcomed the investigation's findings, saying he's heard firsthand some of the issues staff have faced.
A 253-page report outlining how court sheriff officers have suffered for many years.
Victimisation, harassment, intimidation, threatening of people if they actually complained about something, they would then be intimidated or maybe sacked or go out to privatisation.
It's estimated the mental health impacts cost taxpayers more than $1.6 million in workplace and psychology compensation. The member for Frome says the issue was brought to his attention last year.
She was basically in tears, so basically I spoke to the attorney with the issues after doing a bit of investigation.
After learning more, he decided to take the issue further.
And that there was about 20 at that particular point across all regional South Australia and also from metropolitan Adelaide. So I then enlisted the help of the Legislative Council.
The Statutory Authorities Committee has recommended the Courts Administration Authority be stripped of its power over officers. In a statement, Chief Justice Chris Karikis confirmed the state's courts administrator will move to establish an independent grievance complaints body.
But as a parliament, we need to be able to look at the opportunity to put in place some system that these people are made accountable. They just cannot get away with it.
Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
A 22-year-old Western Australian man has been caught drink driving in Whyalla nearly 3 times the legal blood alcohol limit. Police stopped a Holden sedan in Whyalla Stewart just before 1:30 on Saturday morning. The driver, who allegedly holds a provisional licence, returned a reading of .143. The man was issued an instant 6-month loss of licence and will appear in court at a later date. Still to come tonight, online shoppers urged to be alert for scammers this festive season. And we meet the Port Augusta woman making history in the Uniting Church. Welcome back. More than $250,000 has been scammed from residents across Lower Eyre Peninsula this year, with cybercrime on the rise. Experts warn fake websites and download links are becoming more widespread as we head into the festive season.
A month out from Christmas and frenzied shoppers are seeking out a bargain, heading online for the latest deals and specials despite the hidden threat.
It's important to be aware that scam activity is up. The scammers are waiting for your order.
Online shopping is up almost 60% compared to this time last year, with a Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales tempting customers.
They will be the biggest online shopping days we'll see in 2020. So with that presents opportunity for sort of cyber hackers and criminals.
As the silly season approaches, some websites are offering discounts of up to 50% on travel, tech and beauty products. But experts warn if it's too good to be true, it usually is.
We've seen scammers be successful to the tune of over $250,000 this calendar year. Most of that's been recovered, which is good news, but the scam activity is becoming more professional, more sophisticated.
They say in the quest to grab a bargain, shoppers shouldn't forget their common sense.
Look, if you're seeing an email that's presenting a deal or an online promotion, go to that website, check out that company online, and if you see any variation between the URL and the online web address, delete that email.
The advice is to think before you click. Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
A Port Augusta Aboriginal woman has become the first person to receive a prestigious award from the Adelaide College of Divinity. Recognised for her accomplishments as a Christian scholar and leader, she's paving the way for others to follow in her footsteps.
Port Augusta local Denise Champion has accomplished many firsts. After becoming the first Aboriginal woman to be ordained as minister in the Uniting Church of South Australia, she is now the first to be awarded a Doctor of Divinity at the Adelaide College of Divinity.
Women in ministry, not always, hasn't always been something that the church has often had issues around.
Recognised for her role as a Christian leader and scholar, she's transcribed her knowledge to paper.
Retain the knowledge of our old elders that have been passed down, and to actually use that knowledge in the ways I think that they were meant to be used.
Her family say they're proud of her achievements.
Certainly a great big excitement in the family, knowing how hard it is to, be recognised.
Denise is already looking towards her next challenge.
Translating parables, the short stories of the Bible, into our traditional Adjumantha language.
Katrina Musson, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Port Augusta's Stepping Stones Day Centre has extended a helping hand to the homeless throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. The centre helping more than 40 people, providing breakfast, lunch, water and face masks during the lockdown.
Stepping up to help the homeless during the COVID lockdown.
We thought, as an organisation, everything was closed in Port Augusta. So yeah, we had to do something for our clients.
The centre, one of 2 in South Australia, providing drug, alcohol and homelessness support services through its programs. Also providing breakfast, lunch, water and face masks to more than 40 people.
It's very significant in that we're quite lucky to have a facility like this, because we've got a lot of vulnerable people here in Port Augusta.
Port Augusta Police partnering with the centre to ensure the homeless know of a safe place to turn to.
When you come across people who don't have access to the same services that other people do, where they're able to go and buy masks and things like that for themselves, they still need to be looked after as well in our community.
Reminding the community that they are here to help.
They can contact police on the 131 444 phone number, or if they see the police officers out in the street, just let us know. We can certainly assist with referring them on to the day centre.
We still encourage people to donate to the centre, and if you know anyone who needs help around drug and alcohol support, please refer them to the Stepping Stone Day Centre.
Katrina Musson, 7 Spencer Golf News.
South Australia's $25,000 home builder scheme has now been granted an additional 3-month extension. Eligible home builders will now have 6 months to commence construction or renovation of their new home from the signed contract date. The decision made by the South Australian Commission of State Taxation follows similar extensions made in Western Australia and Victoria. It also comes off the back of last week's 3-day coronavirus circuit breaker, in which construction on housing developments temporarily stopped. Stay with us, Broken Hill's cultural plan takes a step forward. And Whyala's Australia Day Award nominations extended. Broken Hill residents can have their say on a new waste facility proposed for construction 45 kilometres south of the city. TELUS Group beginning 3 days of drop-in information sessions at the Demo Club's Time Room today. The facility could hold hazardous materials including old batteries, solar panels and contaminated soil, and will use natural geological barriers to prevent environmental damage. The project could create up to 90 full-time jobs. Whyala's Sunrise Christian School will soon enjoy a range of new facilities through the federal government's Capital Grants program. Member for Grey Rowan Ramsey announcing the funding will build new classrooms and administration offices. It's one of 158 projects approved under the program, set to commence next year.
Really good news for Sunrise Christian College, who are doing a great job in Whyalla. A $700,000 grant towards a $2 million program.
The program is part of the government's $300 billion commitment to improve schools over the coming years. It sounds like a simple question, what is culture? And now a team of consultants has flown into Broken Hill to find the answer. The visit helping develop the city's new cultural plan, which aims to support and promote local artists and performers.
From Australia's first heritage city to a culture capital, Broken Hill is already well recognised for its strong arts and event scene. Local council, however, isn't resting on its laurels, bringing in 2 consulting firms to create a 20-year cultural plan for the city.
To really enhance the existing strong cultural ecosystem that already exists in Broken Hill.
They're spending 3 days here meeting with council, galleries and artists to create a clear pathway for the industry that will promote the Silver City and support local artists. But it's about more than just paintings.
Boosting opportunities around other areas that might necessarily be so visual. The music, for instance, performing arts.
History and Indigenous culture also seen as areas for growth.
To just build on that, we don't have to create it. We want this plan to reflect that authenticity.
The public will also be able to put forward their ideas with a series of workshops to be held in the new year.
We're inviting people to come in and participate in activity that will draw out those conversations around culture and what it means to people.
It is about the opportunities for the local economy. It's also about the local opportunities around social connection.
Lachlan Eater, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Whyala's Australia Day nominations have been extended, with City Council encouraging locals to choose a worthy candidate. The winners will be announced at a ceremony in Ada Ryan Gardens in January as part of the city's celebrations.
Celebrating Wyalla's unsung heroes. With the year of 2020 tainted by COVID-19 and hardship, Council says there has never been a more deserving year to recognise a local stalwart.
We believe there are many deserving members of our community who deserve to be nominated for the Australia Day Awards 2021.
Council extending the opportunity to nominate through until December 18th.
There are 6 categories that you can nominate people in, and there's so many wonderful people in our community that we think deserve to be nominated for the Australia Day Award.
We need to absolutely recognise these people that are so special in our community.
Citizen and Senior of the Year awards, along with sport and community achievements, are just some of the categories available.
Restrictions going all well. We will certainly have a ceremony down at the Adirone Gardens for people to participate.
The nomination process is simple, with Council offering assistance for those who are unsure how to fill out the application form.
You can go online, or if you need a little bit of extra help, please call our customer service area, and we've got some fantastic staff at the Council. They'll be more than willing to help you put in your application.
Sophia Contigonis, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us after the break. Port Augusta's swim centre reopens, and we'll have the weather details with Alex Sykes. Hello again. Port Augusta residents will soon be able to jump back into the local pool, with the Ryan Mitchell Swim Centre now open for lap swimming, rehab, aerobics and school swimming. Despite hot weather fast approaching, general recreational swimming is still not permitted due to South Australia's current coronavirus restrictions. The centre is open from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. However, times are subject to restrictions. More information about the current arrangements can be found online. Time now to check the latest weather forecast across the Spencer Gulf and Broken Hill. With all the details, here's Alex Sykes.
Thanks, Letitia. It was a mainly fine day across our beautiful region from 3 p.m. today. Whyalla cloud clearing, a top of 23. Woodna mostly sunny, 29. Coffin Bay sunny and reached a maximum of 20 degrees. Taking a look at the rest of the region now, Port Augusta sunny and 29. Port Lincoln mostly sunny, reached a high of 21. Broken Hill similar conditions, 27. Port Pirie 26. Adelaide 20. Kadina and Cleve both got to a top of 24. Clare 26, Cooper Pedy the region's top of 32. Taking a look at the satellite now, patchy high jet stream cloud over southeastern SA is not producing any rain. Skies are otherwise clear across the state under a firm high pressure system. Moving on to tomorrow's weather outlook now, and we'll start with the Gulf waters. South to southeasterly winds reaching up to 15 knots. Seas will rise to just over 1 metre, with south to southwesterly swell around 1 metre. Sunny across most of our region. Port Lincoln at 31 degrees, Cleve will reach a top of 36, and a hot day for Woodna with a top of 38. Whyalla 34 degrees, clear skies and a hot day in Port Augusta, forecast to reach 37. Kadina sunny and 34. Port Pirie will have a max of 35, 32 degrees for Clare, and fairly mild morning in Broken Hill, reaching 33 in the afternoon. Taking a look further through the week now, it looks likely that the region will start to be impacted on Thursday by an extreme heat wave, which is forecast to hit the southern and eastern parts of Australia, with temperatures tipped to be 15 degrees above average in some areas. Cooper Pedy will have the region's top of 40, 39 degrees for Port Augusta and Woodna. Broken Hill will have a maximum of 37, and Kadina and Adelaide will both have tops of 33. Friday will be a scorcher with temperatures in the 40s in most areas. 42 set to be the high in Cooper Pedy. Woodna will have the region's top of 45 degrees, 44 in Port Augusta. Broken Hill and Whyalla will both have tops of 41 and 40 degrees in Kadina and Adelaide. And it will be even more of a scorcher on Saturday with a sunny 46 degrees set for Port Augusta. Cooper Pedy and Woodna will both have tops of 45 degrees, 43 in Broken Hill and Port Pirie, 40 degrees in Adelaide, and Port Lincoln will be the outlier with a top of 27 degrees. So Letitia, certainly the advice should be slip, slop and slap heading into the second half of the week. That's all the weather from me tonight. It's back to you.
Thanks for that, Alex. And that's the local news this Tuesday evening. Thanks for joining us. I'll have updates later and we'll be back tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Until then, on behalf of the entire Seven Spencer Golf News team, enjoy your evening. Good night.